Hi, my name is Billy Flowers and welcome to my channel where I talk about velocity banking and how we can use this strategy to massively pay off debt. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at part two of what we started last time of paying off these 5 credit cards. Now in the last video, we paid off the $12,500 credit card. And if you haven't watched that one yet, I suggest you go watch it first. And it should be popping up anywhere. Bam! Over there, right? You see that? Watch that first if you haven't watched it yet. So let's see how we're going to tackle the rest of these credit cards. Like always, we're going to have a recap of our 4 key numbers. We have an income of $6,650. Our expenses are at $6,250. Our debt is $30,000, which is now $12,500 less than $30,000. And our cash flow is now at $900. So if you remember, we started off with $400. Then we eliminated this credit card. So $400 plus $500 is our new cash flow of $900. Now we have our remaining credit cards. One credit card number 2 of $10K for $400 a month. Number 3 at $3K for $120 a month. Number 4 at $2,500 for $100 a month. And our last credit card is $2,000 at $80 a month. Now, once again, our rent is $1,700 a month. We do have a car payment of $500 a month, car insurance, $175 a month, and the rest of the bills that we can pay with our credit card to collect those wonderful rewards is $2,675. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with our second highest credit card to grab what? To grab this other $400 of cash flow, right? We're going to get that cash flow. So if we're putting in $3,975 of income, it's going to satisfy that $400 payment. We no longer are going to have to pay that as a monthly bill because we're putting all this income in. And you might be asking yourself, well, why are we up to $3,975? That's a good question. Because now, if we go over here, we were putting in $3,575 in cash in the last video. On the credit card in the last video. Now, since we no longer have this monthly payment, it's going to go up $400, and we're going to be putting $3,975 on a card. And what we have to keep in cash is going to be $400 less, and that's going to be $2,675. So let's see how this is going to work. Like I said, month 1, now we have our $10,000 credit card. Mind you, that the last scenario, it took us 17 months to pay off the first credit card. So what do you think we've been doing this whole time? Weren't we still making the monthly payments on these other credit cards? So I guarantee you that the balance after 17 months is going to be way less than $10,000. But in this scenario, I like to leave room for error because you have holidays, you might have an emergency or something. All these cards, all these balances are going to be way lower than what you see here on the board. I want you to beat whatever I have on this board, but I just want to make you aware. Like, especially for these lower credit cards, we're talking about paying 17 months worth of these payments on all these cards. So our balances are obviously going to be lower. But I'm just going to go by the highest balance, the high balance in this scenario. So we have our $10,000 credit card. We have our income of $39.75 going into the card, lowering the balance down to $6,025. Then we have the rest of our bills coming out, $26.75, raising the balance up to $8,700. And the interest that we're going to get charged off of the $10,000 is $208.33. raising the balance up to $8,908.33 at the end of month one. Month two, income in, expenses out, $7,608.33 is the balance. $185.59 is the interest. $7,793.92 is the balance at the end of month two. Month three, income in, expenses out, $6,493.92 is the balance. $162.37 is the interest. Balance, $6,656.29 is the balance at the end of month three. Month four, we're going to have our income of $39.75 going in, lowering the balance down to $2,681.29. Now our expenses of $26.75 are coming out, raising the balance back up to $5,356.29. $138.67 is the interest. $5,494.96 is the balance at the end of month four. Month five, repeat the same thing. We have the income going in, expenses coming out. We have the interest of $114.48, raising the balance up to $4,309.44 at the end of month five. Month six, income in, expenses out. Interest, $89.78, raising the balance up to $3,922, raising the balance up to $3,099.22 at the end of month six. Now you know the drill. Our income, our balance is less than what we've been putting in, so we're going to flip the numbers just to make things a little easier to see. So now we're going to have our expenses come out first just on the board, and our income going in second, just to make things easier to see when you see the line actually go down to zero. So we're going to have our expenses come out first of $26.75, raising the balance up to $5,774.22. Now our income of $39.75 is going in, lowering the balance all the way down to $1,799.22. $64.57 is the interest. $1,863.79 is the balance at the end of month seven. Month eight, we have our expenses coming out. Balance, $4,538.79. Now looking on the board, I made a mistake and I actually did month eight twice. So what I'm going to do is, I'm human, I make mistakes. What I'm going to do, since we started here at 1863, I'm going to eliminate this part right here because I actually did this twice. So we have our balance here of $1,863.79. This is the beginning of month eight, and we're going to have our expenses come out, raising the balance up to $4,538.79. Then our income of $3,975 is going in, lowering the balance all the way down to $563.79. $38.83 is the interest, raising the balance up to $602.62 at the end of month eight. Then in month nine, we have our expenses of $26.75 coming out of the credit card, raising the balance up to $3,277.62. Yep. We've been putting in $3,900 this whole time, so we're just going to put that exact amount in, zero this credit card out, and we're done. Now we're going to have $697.33 left over on this card. Remember, the last one we almost had $400 left over. I didn't even use that in this scenario. And now we're going to have almost $700 left on this scenario. So we got 7 plus 4. That's $1,100 right there. So what we're going to do now, we're going to move over to credit card number 3 for $3,000, right? We're going to do the same exact thing, but since this balance now is already lower than what we've been putting in, we're already going to do the flip. And on top of that, we got to put this on the board over here. When we got rid of this second credit card of $1,100, right? That raised our cash flow up to $1,300. So we just eliminated that one, that bad boy right there. Now we got another 120 because now we're going to be doing the same thing on this credit card, right? We're going to be putting all of our income into this card. So we're going to have another 120 on top of the 1,300. So now we're up to $1,420. So now this payment is gone. So what we're going to do, we're already going to do the flip already. Like I said, we're just going to have our expenses come out first on the board, raising the balance up to $5,675. Now the income that we're putting in is $4,095. We were at $39.75 plus $120, which was our monthly payment for this card, $4,095. That's going to lower the balance down to $1,580. $62.50 is the interest. $1,642.50 is the balance at the end of month 1. Month 2, we're going to have our expenses come out, raising the balance up to $4,317.50. Our income of $4,095 is going in. Balance $222.50. $34.22 is the interest. $256.72 is the balance at the end of month 2. Month 3, we got our expenses coming out, raising the balance up to $2,975.72. You already know the deal. We're going to zero this out. 3 months. We're done with this one. Look how quick that was. This is debt snowball, really, the velocity banking way, because we started off with our big credit card, captured that cash flow, paid it off. Went to the next one, captured that cash flow, paid it off. Now we're on the credit card number 3. We just captured that cash flow, paid it off. Now we're going to have over $1,000 left, $1,100 left. So we had $1,100 plus this $700 plus $400. So really, at this time, this credit card right here, if we deployed all of our cash flow on this card, it would pretty much be paid off, because we're paying monthly payments this whole time. But I'm not even factoring in that. So we're just gonna go card by card, because you're gonna beat these numbers. Next card, $2,500. What's that gonna do? Now, same deal. We had $1,400 and $1,420, and now we're getting rid of this monthly payment. And what's gonna happen? We're gonna get that cash flow, right? So plus another $100. So now we are up to $1,520 in cash flow. And you know how fast we go? This card is only $2,500. Most likely it's gonna be way less than this, but we're just gonna go by this. Like I said, $2,500. we're starting with our flip already. Our expenses come out first, raising the balance up to $5,175. Now, guess what? The income that we put in went up another $100. Before we were at $4,095. Then we added $100. Now we're up to $4,195. Lowering the balance all the way down under $1,000 that quick to $980 even. $52.08 is the interest. Balance is going to go up to $1,032.08 at the end of month one. Month two, we have our expenses coming out. The balance is going up to $3,707.08 already. Less than 2 months. Gone. Done. It's gone. Now we got almost $500 left over here. See how I'm going with this? So if we didn't use none of that cash flow this whole time, we would have enough to pay off this car. But just for giggles, we're gonna do the same thing on this last one. $2,000, right? What we gonna do? Same deal. This one gone. Plus $80. I mean, that's simple. 80 plus 20, that's another $100, right? That's $100 right there. So now we're up to $1,600. I just want to make sure I read that right. $1,600. Now we're gonna be working with $1,600. Now we're gonna add $80 to our income. Now we're going up to $4,275. And now the part that we have to keep in cash, since we eliminated all the credit cards, now only this right here, the rent, the car, and our car insurance is what's left that we have to keep in cash. So we're gonna have lost my place. We're gonna have our expenses come out first, like we always do, since our balance is lower right now. And it's going to raise the balance up to $4,675. We have our new income that's going into the line of $4,275, lowering the balance all the way down to $400. $41.67 is in interest, raising the balance up to $441.67 at the end of month one. Month two, we have our expenses coming out, raising the balance up to $3,116.67. I don't even need to say nothing else. Before the end of month two is up, we're done. Really, we could have eliminated this card right here, but I just wanted to I just wanted to show you how we go from card to card. But if you saved up all this cash flow this whole time and even deployed it card by card, whatever you had left, you're gonna pay this off faster than 29 months. The last two cards, which I said is 4 months optional, 33 months max. So we're talking about less than 3 years. You paid off $30,000. 5 credit cards gone. And now your cash flow is up to $1,600. You started off with $400. Now you're up to $1,600. Ain't that $1,600? Now, if you got whatever's left on your car, now you can use this same strategy. We could go to a credit union and apply for a personal line of credit and maybe get one for $10,000 or $15,000, depending on how your credit is. And then we can start doing the same thing and chunking at the car using our new $1,600 of cash flow. And then what is that going to do? That's going to give us another $500 of cash flow once we pay that car off. Then we're going to be over $2,000. Don't say nothing. We're going to be over $2,000 once we pay that car off. But, that just gets my blood. This gets my blood flowing. Just thinking about this. I love putting these numbers on the board and just working it through because it just energizes you because you can actually see your debt getting paid off, something that actually works. Because if we were just paying the regular monthly payments on these cards, do you know how long you will be paying for this? Probably for the rest of your life. You seen them credit card statements. You'll be paying this for the rest of your life and giving these credit card companies all your hard-earned money. No, we don't do that. This is how you pay off $30,000 in debt in 33 months max, less than 3 years. Gone. Starting off with $400 of cash flow. This is amazing stuff, people, and I suggest that you really think about using this strategy because it's amazing. That's why I like using these credit card strategies because that's what most people are familiar with. And once you start using these credit cards and start using this concept and getting more familiar with it, then we can graduate and get a personal line of credit from one of these credit unions. You don't have to split what you keep in cash and what you put on a card. It's just the line of credit. You just pull whatever out you need, and then your expenses come out. That's it. That's all you have to do. It just takes this step out, which makes things a lot easier. So I just want to thank you for watching both parts of these videos, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. And like I always say, get that cash flow.